you doing? Hope you are doing wonderful today. I have a breakfast report to give you right after our lunch, late in the afternoon. We have breaking news you will not believe this just in. Okay, it would appear that the algorithms know more than you would ever dare think on each individual page before it's been pre-calculated into your subconscious by the subliminal messages that are still being analyzed by a jury before they can come to a totally and officially completely phony verdict of not guilty when your lawyer probably knew that you were guilty the entire time and got to a point of no return and then continued to defend your guiltiness and innocence to protect the sacred art of lawyering injustice for the sake of finishing the case and selling what was a great documentary and winning a few awards along the way for great editing. And in another report, the Jews seem to be controlling the weather with new weather balloons that you may not be able to see. But just because you can't see them, we're finding reports that doesn't mean that they're not there. It's true for the balloons as well as the aliens controlling the balloons and the satellites in control of the aliens that are controlling those said balloons. And if all that sounds strange, you might be thinking, well, it is. But if it's actually completely normal, because if we tell you the same thing over and over and over again, and it's actually a lie, but we revalidate the identity and then identify it into the addendum while making a conscious effort to be effortless about what we make sure we're making sure about, and then we ratify that back into the Constitutional Congress agreement that was stated on the Memorial Hall before said veterans came back from the war, that they were probably never even actually supposed to go to because it all smelled of blood and money. And, well, that might lead you to some sort of a rationale that there's some sort of corruption happening underneath the system. But I assure you, there is nothing festering underneath the political system ever in the entirety since America has ever been incepted. What was that, sir? Okay, and I repeat, America has never had any real corruption festering underneath the system, right? Copy that. And now, in totality, so once you've come to understand that it's our job to make America great again, back into that sweet, sweet apple pie full of baked beans and mayonnaise, and then you'll remember that perfect nation that never existed. You'll remember, you'll know that perfect nation that actually did exist, but, got by pretty good for a while by ignoring some super serious injustices. But, well, in closing, I hope you now understand where we need to go and why we need to head there. But if we can't get this Supreme Court justice to understand our plight, then there's probably never going to be any type of warfare guide and strategical program to call into the anomalies that were brought back from another dimension before Kimmel Kirk and even the Ukraine woman, God rest their soul. But not Kimmel. God rest his mouth. And God rest his mouth so he stops speaking freely. Because if free speech is really free and it's not actually trapped, then you're not going to sit there owning a fireworks stand and tell me that they kept that man quiet just so he could speak up about how he got silenced. Gluckman out.